Welcome to this course on downloading files from URLs with Python. Whether you are automating a data backup, scraping images for a data set, or just grabbing a daily report from a server, knowing how to pull files from the web is a core skill. In this course, we are going to explore different tools Python provides to handle this, from built-in solutions to robust community libraries. We will start with an introduction on what tools Python provides for this task. Then we will dive into urllib, the standard library module for handling URLs. We will see how to use requests, which is the most popular third-party library for HTTP in Python. We will also cover essential techniques like saving and inspecting your content, streaming very large downloads to save memory, and finally, how to decide which method is right for your specific project. Before we write any code, let's talk about why Python is a great choice here. First, you have flexibility. Python handles various file types from text to binary and manages different protocols and authentication methods smoothly. Second is portability. The code you write on Mac OS usually works seamlessly on Windows or Linux. Third, you have a choice of libraries, meaning you can pick a lightweight tool for a simple script or a feature-rich one for a complex application. Finally, efficiency. Python allows you to stream large files, processing data as it arrives, rather than loading everything into memory at once. Now that you understand why Python is a great tool for downloading files, let's put that into practice. In the next lesson, you will learn about urllib, a built-in Python library that helps you to download files. It will help you see how file downloading works at a basic level. We are going to start things off with urllib. This is the module that comes pre-installed with Python. In this section, we will look at three things: the specific strengths of urllib, how to use the URL retrieve function for a quick download, and how to inspect the response headers to gather metadata about your files. So, why would you choose urllib? The main strength is that it is built specifically into Python's standard library. This means you do not need to use pip to install anything. If you are writing a script that needs to run on a machine where you can't install external packages, like a restricted server environment, urllib is a lifesaver. It offers great cross-platform compatibility and provides a basic interface for standard download tasks. Now let's get practical and see how you can actually download a file using the URL retrieve function. The link to download the file that we have used in this example can be found in the description below the video. Now let's go ahead and download this file. Notice that I've changed my directory to the real Python folder inside the D drive. This is important because where you start your REPL from is where your file will be downloaded by default. Later on, I'll show you how you can save your downloaded file to any directory or any path. The first step to download a file using URL retrieve function is to import the urllib.request module. Now, you just define the URL from which you want to download the file. Again, you can find this link in the description below the video. Now, set a file name that your downloaded file will be saved as. I'll just save it as gdp_data. And since it is a zip file, I'll add the extension .zip. And finally, you can just download the file using urllib.request.urlretrieve function. And now we pass the parameters. The first parameter is the URL or the link from which you want to download the file. And the second parameter is the name. Now when we run this, the file will be downloaded. Now you can exit from the REPL and check the file list in your current directory. And you will see that gtb_data is downloaded. Let's break down what you just did. First, you import urllib.request. Then you define the URL string pointing to the file you want to download, and the file name string, which is what you want to call the file on your local computer. In this string, you can also have the full path of the downloaded file, which is what you did in the coding session. The download happens in the third step. You call the URL retrieve function, pass in the source and the destination. Python goes out to the web, fetches the file and saves it to your current directory or the path you had provided. In this code snippet, you also print a confirmation just so you know the script has finished successfully. You now know how to save the downloaded file in RUPL's current directory. Here, you use pathlib to save the file in more practical locations. First, you use path.home to get user's home directory and save the file in the downloads folder, which is a common and expected location for downloaded files. In the second example, you refer to the folder where your script is located and create a project-specific downloads folder. Using pathlib like this makes your downloads clean, predictable, and cross-platform. Do go through the pathlib tutorial linked in the additional resources section to learn more about pathlib. Sometimes, after downloading the file, you might need to know how large the file is or what type of file it is before you process it. This is where inspecting response headers comes in. Let's see how you can inspect the file that you just downloaded. The URL retrieve function actually returns a tuple containing two items. The first is the local file name, and the second is an object containing response headers. You can use this response header to get information regarding the file. Let's try this. So first, you import the urllib.request and then you define the URL. Instead of just calling the URL retrieve function, we will unpack the response of the URL retrieve function. So type file name, comma headers, and now we call the URL retrieve function by typing urllib.request.urlretrieve, and then the first parameter to pass is the URL, and then we pass the file name as the string gdp_data.zip, and now the file name will contain the file path in the local machine, and the headers will contain metadata regarding the file. Let's print headers to see what it contains. So the headers contain a lot of information regarding the file like date, content type, content length, connection, and so on. The content type actually tells us if the file is a zip, an image, or a text. The content length gives us the file size in bytes. Now, if you want to check the size of the file, you can just get the content length using the header. You can do headers.get and pass the key name, that is content-length. And you will get the content length, that is the size of the file. Similarly, you can get things like content type, last modified, or any other header according to your requirement. urllib is great because it's built in, but if you are serious about downloading content from the web, then you'd commonly use a third-party package called requests instead of urllib. Requests is the industry standard for interacting with HTTP in Python. In the next lesson, you will learn about requests and how you can download files using requests. Now you will look into the requests library. While urllib is great because it's built in, requests is the industry standard for interacting with HTTP in Python. In this section, you will see the main benefits of using this library, how to dynamically build URLs using query parameters so you aren't manually stitching strings together, and how to verify that your request was actually successful before you try to use the data. Requests is the go-to tool for Python developers in most cases. The main reason is that it is designed to be Pythonic. It basically means that the code looks and behaves the way a Python programmer expects. It's intuitive and readable. It also offers much better error handling than the standard library, has built-in support for things like persistent sessions and cookies, and has a massive community backing it. So if you search online for help, you will almost always find a request example first. However, it is important to remember that because requests is a third-party library, it does not come pre-installed with Python. You'll need to install it on your system. Don't worry about opening your terminal just yet. I'll walk you through the installation process step by step in the next lesson. But before we get to that installation, let's look at a specific scenario where urllib can get messy, but where request shines: handling dynamic URLs. Let's learn a bit more about it. Often, the file you want isn't a static address like data.zip. Instead, you might need to query an API, pass in a specific file ID, or provide an API key. We are going to look at how to handle this cleanly using query parameters. Let's dive into a quick coding example.